Hello guys and welcome back. So great to see you again. My name is Paul, this is Paul's Hockey Channel, and today we'll be talking about the Minnesota Wild. I am personally a fan of the Minnesota Wild and they are currently struggling. They have a big problem right now because, as we all know, Kirill Kaprizov, their biggest star, their MVP, one of the league's MVP, is out for at least next 4 weeks because of a surgery. He has been struggling with a lower body injury for the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, and finally the Wild, they decided they want to have him 100% fit. They decided to go with surgery, out at least a month. That's a problem for Minnesota, their best player, but they have been playing fairly well, even without Kirill Kaprizov in their lineup. I do believe they are 8-5-1 or something along those lines in the games without Kirill Kaprizov. So they are still over 500 in the games without their biggest star, which is very, very good news for Minnesota. But obviously the bad news, Kirill Kaprizov will be out pretty much for next at least month, according to the Minnesota Wild management. So let's go through some news, guys, what NHL.com has on their web. It is not a season-ending injury, but it will put him on the shelf for the next little while. While general manager Bill Guerin said Tuesday, "We have been down this road before and it's unfortunate. I mean, Kirill was having a Hart Trophy type of season. Cannot really argue with that one, guys. It's disappointing for him, it's disappointing for us too." And yes, the forward Kirill Kaprizov played the past 3 games since returning from a 12-game absence because of a lower body injury that was considered day-to-day. And Kaprizov was seemingly an early season Hart Trophy contender as NHL MVP and was on pace for a 100-point season for the second time in his career. And despite his absence, he still leads Minnesota in all scoring categories with 23 goals, 29 assists, 52 points in 37 games. What a player he is. What a player is Kirill Kaprizov. He will be dearly missed in Minnesota Wild squad. But again, the Minnesota Wild, they were able to bounce back. Obviously, 2 very tough losses last week. First against Utah, then on Saturday against Calgary, 4-5 at home. But they were able to bounce back nicely. Then they won against Chicago, and on Wednesday Night Hockey, they also won against Toronto Maple Leafs. That was a very good game. I watched it last night and I was pretty happy with the effort Minnesota Wild was able to put together. Again, the Wild, they are a very tough team to play against when they want to play that way. Obviously, the coach, John Hines, was very angry at his players after the loss against Calgary Flames. He just didn't think they put enough effort into that game, and I really liked the effort from Minnesota in the 3-1 victory over Maple Leafs this past day on Wednesday, especially that goal, the 3-1, that empty netter from Marcus Foligno. Great effort from him to get that puck into the net. And yeah, when we look at the standing, guys, Wild still have a pretty nice cushion there. They are in the 3rd place in the Central Division with 64 points, only 1 point behind Dallas Stars, but they have a pretty nice 8-point cushion over the last 2nd wildcard spot, which is currently occupied by the Vancouver Canucks. They have 56 points. So again, the Wild have been playing very well at the start of the season. That's very important for them because right now they could lose a couple of games. Not much, but a couple of games they can afford to lose because they have that nice, currently 8-points cushion over the 2nd wildcard spot. But again, the Wild cannot sleep, they cannot just lose every single game because still 8 points for Vancouver Canucks, especially they won their last 3 games, so they are on quite a roll themselves. So the Wild definitely must still play pretty well, even without Kirill Kaprizov. And we have some positive news for Minnesota, guys, as well. Obviously, there will be a break, 2 weeks break almost, for 4 Nations face-off. So the NHL won't be playing games for 2 weeks during that tournament, and that's very good news for Minnesota because that means that they will be realistically without Kirill Kaprizov. If the news are true that he will be out most likely for a month, then they will be only without him for 2 weeks. So that means something like 6-7 games. So that is manageable for the Wild. Again, they will be looking for Kirill Kaprizov to return ASAP as soon as possible. They will be hoping he will be 100% after this surgery, that he will be finally able to put this lower body injury behind him. And if Minnesota will add Kirill Kaprizov, right before the playoffs, right before the trade deadline. And yeah, then they should be pretty darn good. They have been good, as I have been saying, even without him, but with Kirill Kaprizov, Minnesota Wild, they are even a lot better. So I like their chances of making the playoffs, and I think if Kaprizov will be 100% truly in the playoffs, I think Minnesota could be tough to beat. If Gustafsson will be playing well in the net, you have a very solid defense core. Jake Middleton playing amazingly well so far. Brock Faber obviously is there. Jared Spurgeon is back. They are looking to get back also Jonas Brodin and other guys. And up front, you have a talented squad as well with Joel Eriksson. You do have Matt Boldy, Kirill Kaprizov, Marco Rossi is playing very well. Zuccarello and other just hard-working guys like Ryan Hartman, like Foligno, like Luke Canyon, or the Russian, which I always forget his name because it's pretty hard. Makhmadulin or something along those lines. So the Russian is playing pretty well as well. He scored against Toronto as well. A very important goal there. So yeah, for Minnesota, a tough news. Kirill Kaprizov will be out. That's a problem for the Wild, but they will be hoping that they can play. Well, even without him, they have been able to do so in these past couple of 2 games. Very important wins against the Chicago Blackhawks and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Right now, they are off to Montreal to play next, where, well, of course, the goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury will bid his farewell to the Quebec province, his homeland there, his last visit to Montreal as a NHL player, most likely. So guys, that's it for today's video, and the other news from the NHL, Alex Ovechkin still on his way, on his great 8th chase to catch Wayne Gretzky, still 20 goals away for Alex Ovechkin. And we have a great chase on this YouTube channel of our own. We are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. Currently we are at number 164, if I'm not mistaken. So we still need about 800 more subscribers, guys. So every single subscriber is very much appreciated. I would really appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button, if you would hit the like button. And please, guys, leave a comment as well. Tell me in the chat, what do you think about Minnesota Wild? Do you think they can go far in the playoffs? Do you think they can finally get through that second round and they could get at least to the conference finals? Tell me your thoughts in the chat as always, guys. And yeah, we end this video again with a nice aerial shot of Minnesota. It has been a great day today, and yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Right now it's all about Dave and his message to end this video. Bye, guys, and take care as always.
This video was brought to you by Paul's Hockey Channel, your trusted source of NHL news. Subscribe and turn on notifications bell in order not to miss future uploads. Enjoy the content and stay safe.